Steve was always looking to help people out in any, any stage of his life, anywhere where he was located, whether it was, through the parish or through the neighborhood. He was always willing to help people. In his short time here, he made a big impact on a lot of people. I can speak me personally, in our local community through St. Helena and also through the neighborhood. He impacted a lot of people in a lot of ways. I can tell you he impacted, my kids, helping him, his efforts helping my son William get into LaSalle. I can't just for that alone, I can't thank him enough.
What I'll remember most about Steve Rietzke and his service to LaSalle is Secret Santa. He was one of my most ardent volunteers, to the point where when he reached out to me when he was president of the Fathers Club at Gwen and Mercy High School, he wanted the girls to be involved. And for years, I had been resistant, hesitant to involve anyone but LaSalle. But Steve was one of those guys you couldn't say no to, because he never said no to me. And he didn't even really have to convince me. I had no problem including the girls, and he did a great job involving them. And although it only lasted for a few years, it's one of those things that really sets Secret Santa apart, like those years where the girls were involved. But even his own involvement with his own sons, and even after that, he was just tremendous. It's whatever I needed, wherever I needed him to go, he never said no.
Service is something that came very easily to him, and he spent a lot of time providing that service in different ways. He helped with his children doing Secret Santa. He participated in, I think, all of our class reunions. He served his daughters at Gwen and Mercy in the Fathers Club. He spent a lot of time here in the Fathers Club. So I just think in general, service was something that he enjoyed, and it was a constant in his life and brought him in touch with a lot of people who found that to be a really admirable and giving part of his being.
Once I graduated from college and I entered the Brothers, I was shipped off to Pittsburgh. So I wasn't involved in a lot of different things, but whenever I saw Steve, it would be about LaSalle High School and what was happening there and the contributions he was making to the Alumni Association to make sure that the events were well attended, that were supported by our class in particular. He was just a guy that really remained loyal. In the alma mater that they talk about, loyal sons will always be. And when I think of that, Steve Rietzke was one of those loyal sons of LaSalle. Always really wanted to see what was best for LaSalle to take place and to get people back to support it, but also to maintain those friendships that happened during our time there. That was important for Steve, that those friendships would be maintained. So there was always an important social component to what he would ever talk about when it was involving LaSalle College High School.
Every time I drove home, I would call Beth and I would tell her, he is literally the nicest man that I know. Like literally every time I got done a meeting with him or talking with him or spending time with him, I would always call Beth and I said, Beth, this guy is literally the nicest person. He's such a generous heart. And I'm not making that up. I know a lot of people say, oh no, he's a good guy or he's a nice guy. But I literally would call her every time after I spent time with him. And I mean, this dude, he's a generous heart, and he is literally the nicest dude I know. He's a great man.